Hello and welcome back. As you can see, we've made some upgrades. I'm going to be talking about Italy's game against Sweden that's just happened. Well, happened a few days ago. Um, Ended 0-0. Wasn't great. Let's be honest. Wasn't great. We're gonna talk about some stuff. Look through some of the stats. And yeah, it's left a lot into the final game. You know, we have to beat Denmark, or draw actually. So I want to talk about Holmberg. Now, average ratings on SofaScore. She was the best Swedish player, as you can see. I think Italy did a really good job. I think we have to credit them where credit is due. I think they did. I think they've obviously changed their style. They're a better team than they were at the World Cup. They really do like we saw in the reverse fixture, they do like to play the ball out from the back. And I'll get to that later because I think there was certain substitutions which really helped us with that. Um, so Holmberg. Now I have to be honest, I did not know much about her before this game, um, but she really shone through. I think it was the way that she just took the ball and just carried it up the pitch really, really effectively. As you can see from her heat map, she was very much high up on the pitch. Um, but it was just multiple times she got the ball and could just glide past players. It was just really impressive about how she could just almost dropped into international football and she just played it you know like it was so normal to her. And I think she's giving Gerhardsson a bit of a headache because I think it was quite clear that Lundqvist was our main right back, and there wasn't much else there. Obviously, Bjorn did a really good job in the World Cup, but I think we know that Natalie Bjorn's going to be a centre back, and she's had a brilliant season for Chelsea there. So I think Holmberg really has added something to the squad, maybe something that can come off the bench. I'm not sure she's going to be a starter this soon, but I think she's going to obviously have a long career. And see, two interceptions, two total tackles. She did. It was just that kind of the kind of pace, that kind of acceleration where she just leaped in, and there's just multiple times where she went through, and she should have had a penalty. Really, let's be honest. I mean, I think I saw a lot of people annoyed about that online. It was close. I can kind of see me. I mean, she didn't get the ball, the Italian player, but I think it was. I think it was also, was it that blatant? No, I do think it was a foul. So I do think she should have won a penalty, but a really good performance by her. Um, I thought I thought that Asllani came on and actually really helped us in terms of her kind of aggressive pressures. Look, ground rules won. Only 1 out of 6, but it was more about how she she just knows when to press and is so important for this team. I tried to say it on the last video that we set up in like a 4-4-2 when we're out of the ball, and her trigger of that press really allowed us. I think Italy were controlling the game too much in that first half, and especially the start of the second half still. And I thought the game of the momentum changed when her and Wangerheim came on the pitch and really put pressure. And there's nothing against Schroeder. She's very young. I thought she was really bright. I thought there was a lot of good things from her. But I think that Asllani came on and really just applied that pressure and just knew when to stick to the pivot. So when their defensive midfielder was kind of looking to get the ball off their centre backs and they were trying to play it out from the back, Asllani's so intelligent at knowing when she should pressure one of the centre backs or when she should come back in behind the striker and lock on to that defensive midfielder so that they can't get the ball and they can't build up. And I felt like we were much higher up on the pitch. So let me just have a look at the the player's average positioning. Sorry, this is Schroeder. This is Blomqvist. If we show on the substitutions, you can see Asllani higher up on that pitch than Schroeder. Wangerheim much higher up on the pitch than Blomqvist because we could just get up the pitch. Even any of the other substitutions as well, like Hannah Bennison and Jona Anderson, we were much. We just got a bit more of a foothold in the game, and that's where you can see the momentum sort of does shift here on the momentum bar. This is Italy in the green, Sweden in the blue. Around the time that sub's made, 60th, we got a bit more, and I think it did really help us, that experience. And I did want to touch on Wangenheim because, look, I think Bluntwist is a really good player and people are calling for her a lot to play. But I think Wangenheim is much more suited to the way we play and is much more similar to Blackstenius in terms of that really tall profile, powerful running striker. And the way she came on and could kind of make those runs out wide. You can see on her heat map, she did pick up the ball in lots of different areas, but kind of always helped us get up the pitch. She also made a really good pressure on the goalkeeper. And I just think that, I think that she's obviously been doing really well for Hammarby. And I think scoring those goals, but I think she's got that kind of all-round game for me that could really, that is for this Sweden's team, if that fits this Sweden's team, if that makes sense. So really impressed from her. I just want to also touch on Zigiotti Olme, who I thought was just brilliant again. Look, 5 out of 10 ground duels won. Okay, really impressive. You know, she's really interceptions 4, total tackles 3. Okay, some of the stats are not as amazing. Dribbled past 3 times, but she really was that kind of. I think she's just so important at sweeping up, and just, there was so many times she just nicks the ball off them, and I think she's performing that role that Rubinson performed for us in the 2023 World Cup, where she's just that defensive midfielder, slightly deeper than Angeldal, who's a bit more kind of almost the technical one. But she's also still quite pretty good on build up and keeping it simple. You can see 96% pass accuracy. Sorry, but I think she is so probably maybe undervalued, and maybe I'll do a video on that later. But I thought she was really important for the game in terms of helping us to kind of almost like stay in it sometimes. Overall, slightly disappointing performance, I have to be honest. I really wanted us to maybe more take the game to them, and they really did dominate large periods of this match, and they had a very good. They had more shots, higher possession, and I know it doesn't mean everything. There was a point when it was 10 shots to 3, and I think that's when the momentum shifted, as I talked about before. But you know, credit to Italy. You know, they've obviously made improvements from the side that when we beat them 5-1 in the World Cup, but I don't know. There's a bit of a kind of a little bit to be desired. Oh, I forgot to mention Jennifer Falk, who kept us in it that first half. Really, some really crucial saves. Really impressive. Obviously, as I've said on my other 2 videos, it is a concern if she's not there. Similar situation for England. Kind of, they've lost Marriott now, and they've just got 1 starting keeper that's very good, like us, Jennifer Falk, but 2 unproven at the international. 2 keepers unproven at the international level, and this would have been the game to play them. So obviously Gerhardsson is just hoping that Falk can stay fit, and you know what, it will be very unlucky if she doesn't stay fit. But yeah, we'll go. I might do a preview for the Denmark game if I have time. If not, let's just quickly look at it here. It's obviously an important match. We want to get through. We want to keep kind of unbeaten. You know, maybe we're drawing too many games, but we want to stay unbeaten going into the Euros. And I think it's also playing Denmark next, and knowing that they're in our group in the Euros. This is going to be very, very important to kind of almost lay down what we're about and just beat them. You know, it's a bit, if you lose them now and then knowing you've got to beat them the Euros, I don't know, there's just a bit psychological going on there. I think it's obviously easier if you just beat them every time. I know that's a lot easier than said than done. But yeah, so not the best performance by Sweden, but some signs. I think Asllani proved how important she is to this team. Wangenheim proved what she could be for this team. And obviously, there was some other players missing. Yeah, that's pretty much all. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed kind of me looking through SofaScore, looking through some stats, that's something I could do more. But I'll see you next time. And yeah, like and subscribe down below, please. Thank you.